One of the things I want to do before I go much farther, once the pressure stat is cleaned out and the pressure stat tube is cleaned out, and we can actually get air through them, and hopefully the pressure stat will be cleaned, is to kind of fire up the boiler, and maybe the pressure stat will actually work and it'll shut off. If not, we'll have to replace it. I want to put a new gauge on here so that I can actually see how much pressure is coming up in the boiler. You can see this one's cracked. It's set at 0.2 right now, and there's no pressure in it in the boiler, so it's really not working well. The best thing to do is to take and for this case, for this deal, it's a 13 millimeter. I've already loosened this once, so it obviously comes off quite a bit easier. I wasn't filming or videotaping at that time. And then to take this off, it takes a 14 millimeter, and I've already gotten this loosened up. It took quite a bit to break it earlier. I don't have that on video. I've got that on video, but it's kind of off frame. So this is the adapter. You can see it's a 14 millimeter. You can see the bottom of it's already cleaned off because we've descaled this machine, so it looks really pretty good inside. Eventually we'll have to take this off if we're going to replace the side tube, which I'm not totally sure yet at this point. Be nice to change all the gaskets, but just to hand tighten this 14 millimeter adapter back on here, and it's got a Teflon wash on it, so it just has to be snug. And the new gauge I have is this. It's not as pretty, obviously, as the La Pavoni one, but it's functional and it works. This one I got off of eBay. It's fairly cheap. I like to use this. It's going to have Teflon tape on it. I like to use this Blue Monster because it has a larger PTE count, a Teflon count. And to do that, just need to wrap it around. So, see, there's one. Whoops, slipped. It's really hard to get going here unless you hold it. And this is a small gauge. So I'm going to take a little bit of the tape off so I don't have to hold the whole thing. And just hold the tape on with your thumb. Once you get it overlapped one time, make sure it's snug. It should stay. It's still not staying. You can see it started. So I think I'm going to have to keep my fingers on it and don't bend it over top of itself. There we go. Nope. No luck yet. Okay. So got it started. I'll loose that one and then I'll snug it. There we go. Now it's caught inside of itself. And I'm going to put the tape. This tape's doubled up. That's what you get with no edit. Let's try it again. Okay, and you don't want the tape to double down on the side of itself like that one was doing. Okay, there's one. We got one turn on it. Make sure it's not twisted. It's still wanting to catch on me here. One turn. I usually like to snug them a little bit more. This one's it's not being very cooperative. 2 turns, and don't let it flatten over itself. There's 3 turns. Hold it, tighten it. Bed it down into the threads. Now you're going to see I've kind of got a tail here and I got some extra stuff up here. What we want to do is take a knife and just run it along the edge here like this. And if you can see that or not, it kind of cuts the tape so that you don't have anything down inside the hole. I've already tested this to make sure that it actually does thread into my part. And so with this generic one, again, you hand tighten it to start with so you get it to turn 1 or 2 turns. And you can see it's going in nicely. This is a 12 millimeter instead of a 13. So let's get we got one. So we got it down most of the way, and then we're just going to snug it this too, so it's forward facing. There is some extra Teflon tape right here, but that's not a big deal. I'll cut that out later if I decide to leave this one on, or if she well, actually it's going to have to come back off if we change the side tube, because the side tube's got to, the new one's got to go back down through here if we want to change the side tube and these two gaskets, which I'd recommend. If we're changing all the gaskets, now's the time to do it. Okay, that's about it.